Yo guys, what's going on? It's your boy Andre back with another video. This time I'm going to be going over my little month and a bit review with the Steam Deck back there. I bought this thing August 20th. It has been some time now since I have kind of played around with it, installed things, uninstalled things, and this is kind of my little review of it so far. Now I'm going to be going over 3 different areas, gaming, battery, kind of both in one, my experience, and the third one being why I chose the Steam Deck over all the other handheld PCs on the market at the moment. Now I will go over why I bought the Steam Deck first. When it came down to it, I was really deciding between the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck. Now I know I've heard great things about both, but then when I was doing my in-depth research, I was actually hearing some issues with the ROG Ally, the first iteration of it, not the X, but the first iteration, the ROG Ally, the white one. I heard that it got really hot to the touch, battery was kind of doo-doo, and it just wasn't really the best thing. Apparently Windows on it is just kind of finicky. Now, please put down the torches and the pitchforks. This is just what I've heard. I myself have not experienced it myself because I don't really have one, but that is just what I've heard off the interweb. Now, if you have one and you want to share some insight, please drop a comment. Let me know down below. And while you're down there, let me know if you are possibly going to be picking up both or if you're just sticking with one or the other. I digress though. So after hearing all that, I was like, okay, well, what's the other option? And then I think when at the time of ordering the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally X came out, and in Canada, that was based like $1,000. And I was like, a little too pricey for me there, brother. So then the obvious choice was obviously the Steam Deck, and it was either the LCD or the OLED. And I have the Nintendo Switch OLED, and just the colors and just the screen colors, brightness, overall, the OLED version of the Steam Deck, I was like, well, no brainer, I'm gonna go with that one. Now, my experience with the Steam Deck so far in the past month and a bit has been absolutely beautiful. Having a handheld PC, I didn't really expect a whole lot, I'll be honest. I got it with the expectation that it'll be fun, XYZ, it would just be another handheld. I was very wrong. I actually just installed some plugins on it. I can make a video on that if you are interested, so let me know down in the comments. But after customizing it a bit more to my liking, the Steam Deck has overthrown my Switch as my go-to handheld system. Now, I play this thing almost daily. Right now I'm playing Monster Hunter and Sea of Stars, but I will get to that in a bit here. Just my overall experience, this thing is awesome. Just I wanted a handheld I could just simply turn on and just go. That was my biggest thing. Turn on and go. And falling back to what I was talking about with the ROG is I just heard that it was just not that, and that was also another deterrent that got me to just pick the Steam Deck more. And again, the Steam Deck, it feels great in my hand. It's not like super big, it's like a nice size. That's what she said. It's just great overall, and I have no regrets on the choice I made. Now, the games I am playing, like I just mentioned, is Monster Hunter World and Sea of Stars. Now, I'll start with Monster Hunter. That is a game that I played a long time ago, but I recently picked up that and Iceborne for a great deal. And one thing I was actually super concerned about when I purchased the Steam Deck is how are games going to run? Because I know that I believe I can get, I think like 90 frames per second with the OLED, if I'm not mistaken. Now, all games don't do that. Right now, Monster Hunter is on 40, getting 40, and it runs perfectly fine. Full battery, I can get maybe like, I don't know, I think upwards of like 3 hours, and it's great. I have no complaints. The first night I actually got my Steam Deck, I installed Days Gone, which is a great game. By the way, little side tangent. Great game, great game. Don't know why they're not making a sequel. I digress. That game was a little more heavy, or maybe I just haven't really dove. pardon me, I didn't dive into the settings like I did with Monster Hunter, so I might come back to that game and just kind of muck around a bit and see which kind of different settings I can probably tinker with to get a better experience. But going back to Monster Hunter, it's been great. It's been fun. Again, I don't really have any complaints on the Steam Deck, except, I guess if you want to call this a con, I was ignorant in the fact that not all my games are compatible with the Steam Deck, but it's not really a con. I guess it's just more on my part for not doing the research that not all your games are compatible, but it's not the end of the world. The other game I am playing is Sea of Stars, which if you haven't played that game, it is such a beautiful, fun game. I remember playing a demo on it on my Switch, and then the next day I went and bought it, got about an hour into it, and then I think I purchased the Steam Deck within that little time frame. And then I returned Sea of Stars back to GameStop, got a Steam card with the money, rebought it for my Steam Deck, and then continued past the part I was at. And it's a phenomenal game. It reminds me so much of like Chrono Trigger, old school Final Fantasy. It's the soundtrack is great. Story's been amazing so far. I'm just gripped every time I start playing it. Characters are fun, the world, everything about that game is great. If you haven't checked out Sea of Stars, it's not an ad, it's just a great game. But that game on the Switch was doing about 30 FPS. Right now I'm getting 60 smooth, no problems. It's been a great game, great experience. Some games I have on my wish list: Nier Automata, Coffee Talk, Cat Custodian. I think so. I could be very wrong on that. I think I am. Doom, Reanimal's the one that is coming out, Metaphor, and then I think I have Little Nightmares 2 and Little Nightmares 3 on there. Yeah, I am just, there's so many games I'm looking forward to. I only have those two downloaded at the moment because I don't want to have a whole bunch of games downloaded onto the deck, because I did pick up the 512, but the 512 gigabyte Steam Deck, but I also picked up an SD card as well. Yeah, the games are great. I have no complaints other than just, I guess, the games not all being compatible, but it's not the end of the world. I still have a lot of fun. To bring it all home, my advice for you is that if you are thinking about buying a Steam Deck or just a handheld PC, I would. If you're someone like me, I am a part-time editor and then I work part-time 9 to 5. My Switch was my go-to handheld for a long time. I also had a custom PC that I built. There's a whole video on that. I talk about it in the Steam Deck unboxing video. I have a link somewhere above me or something. But yeah, if you are thinking about one and you maybe don't really have all the time to kind of sit down and invest hours, and you just like handhelds like I do, I would highly consider one. I think I've seen tons of comments that have said that Valve is not thinking about making a Steam Deck 2 anytime soon. They want to wait until there is a nice gap to bridge and just make the leap into the next, I guess, hardware. Then they'll kind of start thinking about the Steam Deck 2. So that tells me that you have tons of time to invest into a Steam Deck. And again, you will not be deterred from having a great time. I myself have been loving this thing. I play it almost every single day. My Switch is now exclusively just for Nintendo games, and my Steam Deck is for whatever other game I can play that is not on my Switch. But that is all the time I have for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you liked the video, if you thought it was informative, please, I would appreciate it if you could drop a like. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button. We are 2 more subscribers away from 300. 300 was the goal for the end of the year. If we can hit 300 by then, it'll be a massive W. But if you're not feeling the subscribe, I totally get it. A like would still go a long way. And while you're down there, drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts, concerns, questions. My Discord link is also down there if you want to ask a more personal question. I'd be happy to. Guys, girls, ghouls, ghoulettes, gizmos. Throw that in the mix. I appreciate you all. Appreciate the presence and time you invested into the video by watching it to this point. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.